And welcome back. We are back to All Hang Up and Listen, brought to you by, of course, as always, Fatty Beer Company, Western New York's premier market and tap room with over 300 beers to choose from at 7 different Western New York locations. If you want to grab a beer, celebrate a Sabres win in this big-time playoff push, as the Sabres try to break a playoff drought that's lasted 14 years now. Get over to Fatty Beer. Let them know we sent you over a 2 goalies on Mike. Great vibes. I was there when Team USA won gold, and the house is packed at 10 in the morning. People are losing their minds. I know all 7 locations, actually, technically all 9 locations open their doors bright and early so you can get and watch the game. So, again, check them out. Locations in Lancaster, Hamburg, Amherst, Orchard Park, North Tonawanda, Kenmore, Rochester. They're all over the place. So make sure you go check them out, of course. And our sponsors at Extreme Discount Mattress, Western New York's finest selection of mattresses and adjustable beds featuring cool gel memory foam, 2-sided mattresses, Tele latex, organic mattresses, Chatham & Wells, and of course Scott Living, all for 1/3 to a half the supposed sale prices anywhere. Stopping in, there are 7 locations across Western New York, or check out their website, extrememattress.com. If you're looking for more savings, check out their new clothing center at 1625 Walden Avenue in Cheektowaga, with up to 80% off their already low prices. Save a fortune on one-of-a-kinds, closeouts, and floor samples. You get a quality mattress for literally pennies on the dollar. Extreme Discount Mattress, we sell mattresses for less, a lot less. And don't forget, if you mention that you're a fan of 2 goalies on Mike, get yourself a free mattress protector with the purchase of any mattress. So how can you go wrong? Need a new mattress? Get over to Extreme Discount Mattress. Hurls, we are back. I know we're back for a new episode last night that didn't start off the way we probably hoped. It has been an eventful day. I don't want to use the words uneventful game because I think last night we both talked about how we were probably expecting a high-scoring affair, and it was actually
I'd like the record to show that I said it potentially could be low scoring.
Oh, did you say that? Oh.
More on the Devils side, just because like they've been the lowest scoring team in the East this season, and that turned out to be true. I just more so thought that the expected lag of a 3.5 week break in the middle of the NHL season kind of, I think, reared its ugly head a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I just thought I'd see more sloppy play. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just guys not playing at game speed with each other for like almost 3 weeks.
Yeah, I guess my tendency when I think of like stuff like that is that like less high quality chances, like passes aren't going to be as crisp. There aren't going to be as many offensive slot opportunities because guys aren't as willing to get to the front of the net. And I feel like we saw that a little bit. There were a lot of shots on goal, and I think who benefited a lot from the lack of like supremely high danger chances were the goalies. I thought both Jake Allen and UPL were able to get into the flow of the game pretty early, and they both, I thought, were able to have really, really good games as a result.
Yeah. I thought UPL made some big saves when he needed to, especially the one off the noggin. There was one there too at the end where the play was down low, it got kicked out the front, and he already had sealed the ice and was able to make a nice save. It might have been on Timo Meier, I can't remember. But I mean, for a guy who got hurt, were you surprised when you heard that he was starting and not a Lion, given like the fact that he just got back on the ice just this past week?
I mean, a little bit, yeah, but I think it was the necessary amount of time for him to recover. And if the doctor said he was good to go and he was able, he said that last week that obviously it was really tough for him to miss out on the chance to represent Finland at the Olympics. But the bittersweet, or the sweet part of the bittersweet moment, was that he was able to focus on his rehab and he was able to get healthy and he was able to get that extra time on the ice to practice and get his body right. And I think down the line, especially if he stays healthy the rest of the season, he potentially could look at that situation as a blessing in disguise.
I agree with you for sure. Gotta imagine he's playing with a little bit. And I don't know if I want to use the words like chip on his shoulder, because I mean he made the team, but he definitely looked like he had some jump out there for sure.
I think he would have gotten games in that tournament. To be honest, I think they of course rode UC Saros pretty hard, as they should have, because he's, a legend.
Who was the other goaltender for Finland when Saros?
So they had Kevin Lankinen, and I forget the third guy.
It wasn't it who Corpusalo? Wasn't it Corpusalo?
Yeah. So Lankinen, I think probably would have been the third guy, and I imagine that UPL would have gotten a game against one of the lesser teams. I think Lankinen probably got one of those games, but given the way that he had played in the past month leading up to the Olympics, I think he definitely would have gotten a game. But either way, I think this time, unfortunate injury. Obviously, it was a weird play when it happened. Allowed him to get his body right. Hopefully, he's back to 100%. Obviously, he's had a bit of a history with these injuries. Going through the double hip surgery is obviously not easy for any goalie. But I think that he's gotten himself to a good place both mentally and physically, and I think we saw that tonight. It wasn't necessarily, like you said, it was kind of a bit of a slower game, but he did have 28 saves, and 28 saves are 28 saves no matter how you want to put them, especially with 3.5, or well, in his case, almost a month off. So full credit to him. And I think we've said for a few months now, the combination of a healthy Alex Lyon and UPL is the Sabres' best combination in net moving forward to get them to the playoffs.
What are your thoughts on the Tyler Myers rumors that have been circling around? Not like directly connected to the Sabres, but we saw that he was, and again, off topic of the game, but I reminded of it because of on my podcasting table here, I got like a plexiglass over the top of it with old hockey cards everywhere. And I just happened to kind of glance down at my Tyler Myers autograph card. And I'm like, let's bring up Tyler Myers. I saw you tweet about it. I tweeted about it.
Yeah, my first thought was it would be great to get him in a good-looking jersey rather than the Buffalo Slug.
Yeah, the
old
navy blue jersey.
The shit burger that Ted Black called it, or whatever it was. Turd burger. Turd burger.
Yep.
Yeah, basically the same thing. It'd be nice to get him in the royal blue. I think, you asked me about Risto last night, and I gave you a hard no, which I stand by. I'd be much more accepting of the possibility of Tyler Myers returning back to Buffalo. One final hurrah for a guy who started his career in Buffalo and I think was pretty widely liked for the most part. I think it was a different era of Sabres hockey, but I personally love the way that he played the game. And I think it speaks to who he is as a player, that he's still playing the game at a relatively high level. I like his game. I haven't seen him play up close in a long time, obviously. But what I remember from the best parts of his game is that he uses his length extremely well. Obviously, a super tall guy with a really long reach, and he's responsible in his own end. And I'm sure that's only increased with his wisdom and experience throughout his time in the NHL. Something that Risto was not and never has been, and something he will never be. So I would much rather Tyler Myers be on the Sabres, and I think it'd be a pretty cool story, to say the least.
Yeah, kind of like a redemption story almost. Was he on the team the last time they made the playoffs?
I think he was. I was just going to look that up. If I had to guess, he probably got to the Sabres in 2009. He's 36 now.
Actually,
2009 was his first year with the Sabres.
So he wasn't the last Sabres playoff team.
Well, yeah, 12th overall in 2008. Like, what better story could that be? Like, one of the guys the only guy that's still in the NHL from the last Sabres playoff team gets a homecoming back in Buffalo. Mm-hmm. He's got a cool story. He's brothers with Quentin Grimes, who's an NBA player. I've heard that story been told a few times in the past couple of years. I think either he or Quentin was adopted, and it's become like a really heartwarming, cool story that I've heard about the last few years. And I think it'd be cool. I really do. I would be all about Tyler Myers coming back in a Sabres uniform. And I think, given the positive vibes around this team right now, bringing a guy like that back with the veteran wisdom that he has, the knowledge of the area, the knowledge of the team, the knowledge of the fan base, I think it would be, really, really well accepted.
I tend to agree. I would embrace it because he can still move, man. Like he's still just because he's a little longer in the tooth. He can still skate, man. He definitely still has it. I picture him as a third pairing guy. I mean, is he playing? Who is he playing with? Is it Connor Timmins when he gets back? I mean, Timmins is a right-handed shot though.
He's got 1,100 games in the NHL.
That's crazy.
That is insane.
That's
And he
crazy.
hasn't played 82 games since the 2021-2022 season, but he's played 78, 77, and 71 in the 3 full seasons before this. So he's relatively durable. He's got 8 points in 57 games this year. Shout out 57, a minus 25 with the Canucks, but that's not really saying much. So yeah, I'm all about it. I'd like to see the advanced stats, what his defensive metrics look like. I'm not necessarily sure exactly how it's compared over the past few years, but if you're talking the prototypical veteran, big right-handed defenseman who you could slot on that third pair and hopefully not worry about him, I think that's Tyler Myers.
I agree. I remember his like the early date, like that rookie year with him. Like he just kind of took the league by storm, man.
48
I know, like,
points in 82 games.
What'd you say?
48 points in 82 games in his rookie year.
And just like we knew he was good, you know, where they took him. I don't think a lot of fans expected him to be on the team and like as a like literally out of his draft year. But I remember watching him play, man, and how just incredible he was. I'm gonna pull this card out actually right now because I want to see like his numbers as an actual Sabre. Let's see here. Actually, these would literally be when was his last season with the Sabres? Would it have been 2013, 2014?
No, the next year, 2014, 2015.
Okay, so this card it goes up until the year before. He had 138 points in 318 games, which is crazy.
Yeah, no, I mean, especially his first 3 years with the team, he had 48, 37, and 23 points. That is, I was in high school in his first season with the Sabres, which is crazy to even say at this point because I graduated from high school. It'll be 16 years ago in June, but shows the longevity, shows that he's been a guy that can be trusted in 3 different organizations. Also, I think that also speaks to the type of player that he is. In 17 seasons in the NHL, he's been in 3 different organizations: the Sabres, the Jets, and the Canucks. Clearly, these teams have valued his services. They've liked his production and his level of play enough to keep him around for extended periods of times. He's not this journeyman later in his career. He's been with the Canucks since the 2019-2020 season. So, yeah, sounds like a guy that I think would be a very, very applicable and not necessarily perfect, but a very good enough depth defensive ad that probably wouldn't cost that much.
Yeah, I mean, he's still got another year left in his contract, which I don't know, like how you would look at that. Is that like a good or a bad thing? Would you rather him just be on an expiring deal? I don't know, man. I wouldn't mind an extra year of Tyler Myers, depending on the price tag. I'm not sure what he's making right now. I think he like makes around $5 million. I could be wrong, but I mean, dude, if Vancouver was willing to like retain like 25% of that, I'd give up. What would you give up?
What would you say his contract was?
I want to say it. I mean, someone in the chat can check on that for us, but like I think it's like around $5 million.
I can look it up real quick. He signed a 3-year, $9 million contract with the Canucks. He makes $3 million a year.
Oh, so it's less than that. Oh,
and for the rest of this season, that would be prorated. So yeah, the cap wouldn't be an issue.
No, not at all. I mean, yeah, I would take him back in a heartbeat.
And he signed through next season as well. So $3 million for next season. Yeah, I think a 4th round pick. I don't know. I'm not an NHL GM. 3rd round pick. Who knows? But
I think it probably costs you more than a third. I mean, I don't know what type of.
I would do anything 2nd or below because the 2nd round pick in the NHL draft is not relevant to what the Sabres need to do for the next 2 to 3 seasons.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Yeah, sign me up for that all day, especially in like an 18-minute a night role. It just guy's a beanstalk, man. His wingspan is incredible. Like, you know, just the size you have on your blue line. If you brought back a guy like Tyler Myers, and
yeah, I mean, early in his career, he's the defensive version of Tage Thompson with his length and elasticity and everything related to that size profile. Speaking of which, obviously, we spoke about it last night. Don't necessarily need to get in it now. I think my one question going into this morning and today was, after everything, was Tage going to play tonight? I Was surprised to see that he was at the morning skate, given that he rejoined the team late last night. I think it was probably a flight from DC to Newark, which of course is pretty short, but given the travel, the time change, all the partying, everything that happened yesterday, I thought probably wouldn't be at morning skate, maybe would be questionable for the game, and they would probably play him 15 minutes or less. All of those completely proven wrong. At the morning skate, scored the first goal of the game on a vintage Tage Thompson goal, stripped his Team USA teammate Jack Hughes, who brought him out pregame to center ice, set up Peyton Krebs for the deciding goal. The second most time on ice of any Sabres forward not named Alex Tuch. They both Alex Tuch had 19 minutes and 50 seconds. Tage had 19 minutes and 19 seconds. Doesn't seem they had him on a restriction whatsoever. So think whatever you want about his politics. I think we've both made our stance clear. I think Tage proved his value to the team tonight. And from an athletic perspective, I actually do commend him for the effort and the performance that he had in the game tonight. It was honestly really, really impressive.
Dude, how about that after the turnover from Hughes, the little spin, stripped and spun like a. I wanted to tweet this out. I don't know why I didn't, but like from the 2 goals, like he with the strip and spin like a pole dancer. Tage Thompson feats Peyton Krebs. Like this little spin he did, which is awesome.
Yeah, hand over your heart, singing the national anthem at 11 Miami. No, I do give him a lot of credit. I really do.
Oh, for sure.
Aside from everything everybody said in the past couple of days, he has had a hell of a past 3.5 weeks with the travel and the. Didn't necessarily play that much at the Olympics, but technically it seems like he did get hurt in that semifinal game. So he's probably not 100%, both physically, maybe mentally he's as good as he's ever been, given the day he had yesterday. But I think that he parlayed whatever transpired in the past few weeks into the game tonight. And as one of the leaders of this team, if he wasn't out there tonight, given what's transpired in the past few days, he would have gotten a lot of heat. And I think Tage knew that. So he was out there at the morning skate. He showed up for the game tonight. He performed, and he was a huge reason they got the win. So full credit to him.
Yeah, we were texting about that too, because like another thing too, like I just asked like a general question today on Twitter. Like I know, given like my stance on this topic, your stance, like, we won't get into that. Like I kind of just tweeted, I was like, does anyone have any clue when he's going to be like in the lineup again? Because Lindy, the 2 times he was asked before today, didn't have any idea. He didn't have an answer. And then it was preemptively. I said that before we found out he was actually with the team on the ice. But like Jack Hughes wasn't announced to be playing tonight yet. Like we had no clue. And
they knew damn well that the only way to quiet the noise was to go out there.
And he did.
Not to just show up, but show up and have a really good game, which he did. So it's crazy to think that is what will at least partially quiet the noise, but honestly it will, because things do pass. Time heals most wounds. And I think that he, at least as a hockey player for this team tonight, showed that he was a leader, that he cares about this group. He wants this team to make the playoffs. And those 2 points in regulation against an Eastern Conference team, let alone a team that's in the bottom of the Eastern Conference, helps get us back into the 3rd spot in the Atlantic. And that says a lot. He was a huge reason they won tonight. And had he not played, I think there's a chance they would have lost.
Yeah, I agree. And that filthy curl and drag on the first goal, like as a goalie watching Jake Allen, he definitely overcommitted a little bit on the glove side and couldn't push back over and shuffle it back over enough to get back into position. And Tage just buried it. It was a beautiful goal. We do have a question in the chat from Connor: Tyler Mullers or Logan Stanley? Another name's been thrown around a lot on hockey Twitter.
How old is Logan Stanley?
He's younger for sure.
I've been meaning to look that up recently. And I'd also be interested in what his contract is. So he's 27, obviously significantly younger. His contract signed a 2-year, $2.5 million contract. So his cap hit this season is $1.25 million. Not a concern. Logan Stanley, to answer your question, absolutely. I'm going to take
Logan Stanley. He's a big boy too.
I'm going to take the 27-year-old over the 36-year-old every day of the week. Yeah, I think that's a pretty easy answer, actually. He's also 6'7". So I think he's produced a good amount this season too, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. 18 points in 55 games, only a -4 on not a great Winnipeg Jets team. So yeah, absolutely. But I think it's going to cost more to get Logan Stanley too. So
Yeah,
you gotta weigh the options a little bit to see what's best for your team. But thankfully, either one doesn't have too big of a cap hit. So I think both are realistic.
Agreed. Did anyone have Jason Zucker fight on their bingo card tonight? Because I certainly didn't.
I don't know. He's a bit of a feisty guy. He was chirping a little bit at the Devils bench. I think that he's shown his leadership qualities in different ways, in one way or another over the course of his time with the Sabres. And I think that he's the type of guy not only gets to the front of the net and gets a dirty goal every now and then, but I think he stands up for his teammates and he knows when momentum needs to shift in a variety of different ways. So not too surprised by it. Obviously, it's not going to happen every single night, but yeah, I could see Zucker scrap a little bit. I could.
Yeah. Overall, man, I just love the, especially when you're in a barn that started off with the energy they did. You mentioned earlier how it was a classy move. Jack Hughes grabbed Tage and they both celebrated together as teammates from Team USA, even though they were, opposite sides of the line tonight. It was a real classy move on his part, but just a ton of energy to lead off this game, and the way the Sabres were able to bear down defensively, get the performance they needed from UPL, and able to quiet that crowd. And it was a very, very typical old school New Jersey Devils hockey style game. I'm not going to lie, I dozed off for about 15 minutes during the second period because it was just so low event. But our buddy Sean DePaz from the What's Chaos podcast tweeted our tweet. And when we tweeted out with Jack Hughes pulling Tage out, and he did throw something out there very, very interesting. Do you think Tage does the same for Jack Eichel?
So is that going to be
first home game back will be against Vegas?
I see. So will that be Jack's? It won't be his first time to be recognized, though.
But
no, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, I don't.
Could you imagine?
Yeah, no, and I think
Jack gets cheered. I think they recognize him. I think Jack gets cheered.
Yeah, he's not going to pull him off the bench. No,
that'd be crazy, right? That'd be fucking crazy.
God, if he does.
Oh,
back to the doghouse with you, Tage. No, I don't think. No, I don't think he will. Personally, it is a funny concept to think about, though.
Oh man. And again, I think Jack. I think given the achievement of the first gold medal in 46 years since the Miracle on Ice, and what politics aside, what a great achievement that is, and I do think he'll be shown some respect in Buffalo, at least maybe if they recognize him pregame. I don't know about during the game. We'll see. I think they'll recognize him before the game and cheer him. But once puck drops, I think you're going to get the same old Jack treatment every time he touches the puck, which, I mean,
I think that it comes with the territory, right? Like, the passionate fan base, I think people still feel scorned. I don't think one tournament where Jack and Tage combined for a couple power play goals makes everything better. Again, everybody knows the things that Jack says. They know the things that transpired even before he asked for the surgery, and the things that he said in his first game back that he had never heard it as loud as it was. So yeah, he should get booed. I would boo him.
Yeah.
Just comes with the territory. Yeah. If he can't handle that, then I'll call him a snowflake.
Yeah, right. Just want to kick it back to our sponsors again real quick. Shout out again to Fatty Beer Company, Western New York's premier market and tap room with over 300 beers to choose from at 7 different Western New York locations. If you need a beer, get to Fatty Beer. Let them know we sent you over here from Two Goalies, One Mike. Try their chicken sandwich. It's incredible. Or their FEM mango wheat beer. That's one of my favorite beers. They always have on tap on the beer menu. And of course, if you need a new mattress, get over to Extreme Discount Mattress. 7 different Western locations. You can find them online, extrememattress.com. That is extreme with an X. And they have a new closeout center at 1625 Walnut Avenue, Cheektowaga, with the 80% off their already low prices. You can see a portion on one-of-a-kinds, closeouts, and floor samples. You get a quality match for little pennies on the dollar. Extreme Discount Mattress. We sell matches for less, a lot less. Also, don't forget, if you mention you're a fan of Two Goalies One Mike, you get yourself a free mattress protector. Hurls, I know we got to get out of here. I know you got a hockey game tonight.
Yeah.
Your final thoughts.
I was talking with a friend about this last night. Super unfortunate that the schedule requires us to play the Panthers the day before the Lightning once again, just like at the end of January. Kind of annoying, is what it is. Can't complain too much about it. Yeah, it's going to be another tough couple games. It's always is on that Florida trip. I mean, Matthew Tkachuk was at the Elbow Room this afternoon drinking beers and smoking cigars and taking pictures with fans. So can't imagine he's going to be in the best shape tomorrow, but he's kind of a sicko, so I could see him playing well. Panthers are still banged up. They don't have their full battalion that they've won 2 straight cups with. So I think that's a winnable game on Friday. And then coming right back on Saturday, it's a tough game against a really good team. The Sabres proved that they can beat them in the game that unfortunately ended in that overtime loss at the end of last month, or at the beginning of this month. But I think it's, especially considering Tampa had the most amount of Olympians on a single NHL roster, 10 of them in total, would have been 12 if Russia was in the Olympics. I think that they probably won't necessarily be in the best physical shape, and the Sabres, with 2 games already under their belt, hopefully 2 wins, can jump on them and get another win. 4 points would be great, just like this last Florida trip. 4 points, obviously ideal, would absolutely take 2 or 3. So I think that's the expectation. And then you can get into a stretch of, 6 home games, 6 out of 7 games at home in the next 7. 6 games at home in their next 7 games, with the only game on the road next Thursday at Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
So against some teams that are struggling as well. You've got San Jose in there. You've got Toronto. You've got Nashville. Pittsburgh's good. Vegas is good. Washington's pretty good. But I think you've got a lot of winnable games coming up. And just like tonight, you stack a win no matter how you can get it. Take it 1 game at a time.
I couldn't agree with you more. Now, was it 24 games remaining? Was tonight 25? Tonight, from here out, 24?
They are 33, 19, and 6, which would mean 33 plus 25 is 58. So that would mean there's about 34 games left, I think.
24?
24 games.
24. I was like 34. Oh, my God.
24. 24.
I'll take 34 more games, honestly. I don't know what that
24. And it's 25 games in 50 days. So now it's 24 games in 49 days, which is going to be hectic, and they need to manage the injuries and the ice time and everyone as intelligently as possible, because it's going to be a grind.
I do want to recognize, for anyone who hasn't noticed, I didn't point out the new background. Took a lot of time and a lot of effort to get this done. Got a new hashtag picture for my birthday from the girl. Got the little Cody Rhodes. No background, hockey backgrounds, complete without Cody Raheem Rhodes raising the championship belt. Just want to give myself a couple clicks. I was pretty proud of finally getting that done. Hurls, I'll let you go. I'm going to stay on for a few extra minutes because I'm getting a couple requests in. So we'll let him get out of here.
Peace. We'll see you guys this weekend.
See you guys this weekend. Let me get my boom. There we go. Yeah, guys. I was really impressed by the win tonight. I thought for sure it was gonna be a really sloppy game. I guess like Hurls was right when we talked about it yesterday. That it was going to be a more of a defense first type of effort. I personally thought you're going to see a lot of sloppy mistakes, bad goaltending. Sometimes you see that when you have such a long layoff. That was not the case. The one guy that was clear as day the best player on the ice, and I would even go as far as say probably Jack Hughes might have been the best player on the ice, even with the turnover for New Jersey. Like he was the one that stood out to me the most. Him and probably Timo Meyer. But like Darlene was very noticeable, but Tage was the most noticeable because he's been playing. He has been playing, and I'll say this: super proud of the accomplishment in Milan, Italy. Um, as an American, how can you not be? You know, we all know how me and Connor we talked about the political side of things, but at its core, I could be more proud of what that team accomplished in the Olympics. It was incredible, and um, I was out celebrating with one of my best friends. You know, shout out Greg Day, and just the overwhelming feeling of pride because we've all seen like the movie Miracle growing up. Like at least I have. I remember I bought it the first day it was out on DVD. I still have the DVD. Um, Watching it for the first time with a teammate, Brian Aikinger, the guy I played high school hockey with. You know, we watched it on my small little TV in my bedroom, and how cool of an experience that was. And you know, hearing the locker room speech from Herb Brooks, and just again, and then seeing a team again. Nothing will ever. There will never be another moment, and not just in hockey, but sports history that will equal what the Miracle on Ice was, because you had a team of amateur college players who went up against a team that had not lost, I think, in like I forgot how many years it was, but they were essentially there was like a loophole where these are essentially NHL level players. They went out and they beat NHL teams very handedly when they played them. I think if I remember from the movie, they beat like an NHL All-Star team, or maybe even shut them out. And through this loophole, yeah, these players who were essentially professionals, played in this tournament, played in that Olympic tournament, and were obviously heavily favored. And through teamwork, chemistry, camaraderie, and just belief, the Miracle on Ice happened. Do you believe in miracles? Again, gave us one of the greatest sports punchlines, or sports not ad reads, but reads after a win in sports history. It'll go down long after I'm gone, and it was just a real fun experience. And again, I couldn't be more proud. And Tage showing up today the way he did, couldn't be more proud of the effort. And you could tell how much this means to him, how much it means to us. And with 24 games, every single point matters. Loser points, everything. It all matters so much. A couple post-game quotes from the locker room. Ruff said Luukkonen was great. Thought he made a couple saves while the team was on the power play with shorthanded breakaways. Thought he saw the puck very well. Ruff said they didn't give up a lot in the third. Thought they got some really nice looks too. Ruff said Thompson's energy was good. Thought him being at the Olympics was a big positive, being around the best players in the world. And Tage even spoke on that. Kind of he's like talking about like the subtleties, like viewing the subtleties in other players' games, and how they prepare and things that they might do differently than him. And just you have to. I agree. Like being around players of that caliber, just how they prepare before a game, what they do after a game, how they handle adversity, how, what are their pregame meals, just shooting the shit and just picking other players' brains. I'm sure he was. And I think it's going to have a positive impact on him in these final 24 games. No doubt about it. I had a picture of the locker room after the Miracle on Ice. I actually, I don't know if you can see it here. Tilt the camera up a little bit. This guy right here, that is an autographed picture of Jim Craig. Right after he's jumping in the air with his stick up here, I'll just pull it up here. Hold on. Right after they won and beat Russia and won the gold medal. I don't know how to get it off. There we go. Oh, stuff fell. Well, stuff fell. Like this guy right here. Bought this when I was in Lake Placid for work. Easiest $200 I ever spent. because it's one of my favorite sports memories. Again, I wasn't alive for it. It happened 7 years before I was born. But again, something that really fills me with a lot of national pride. I was alive, though, when the movie Miracle was made. And, just being able to see that, I think I was, that was 2006, I want to say. So I would have been like 17, 18. Again, it was just really cool to almost relive that moment in sports history. So, very, very, very cool. So, um, as we went over the schedule earlier, I'll pick through it again here one last time before we get out of here. Sabres next game is against the Panthers in Florida, Lightning in Tampa, and then they return home against the Golden Knights on Tuesday, March 3rd of next week. So again, not a kind schedule for a team coming off a very long break. 3 games on the road, 2 back-to-back, very important divisional games. Those are 4-point swing games. You put yourself in a very, 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 very good position in this playoff push if you can take 4 out of 4 points during that Florida trip against both those teams. So with that being said, guys, I appreciate the hell out of all of you. Appreciate you being here and sticking by us and through all the BS and all the nonsense that's been going on. I just don't want to call it nonsense, but what's been going on between Sabres land and hockey Twitter or hockey land over the past 24, 48 hours. No doubt, I appreciate the hell out of all of you guys. You're the reason why I do this. I'll tell you, there have been times where I've been in a pretty dark place over the past, honestly, 5 years. Hockey's always been an outlet, and this show has become an outlet for me without a doubt. And I owe it all to you guys for always being here. Somebody to talk to, vent to. I consider you all friends. And it's a lot of you I've never even met. And I'll tell you this one, if I ever did meet you, you guys see me out in public, make sure you tap me on the shoulder, say hi, and maybe we're in a situation where you can grab a beer if you're of age and shoot the shit about the Sabres. But I owe a lot to you guys, and just keeping my mind here in a positive mindset, again, even through a lot of the BS, whether it's hockey related, Sabres related, or just life related. I appreciate you all. And if you like the show, I'd appreciate it if you throw a like on it. If you're watching on Twitter, Facebook, if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, if you want to throw us a rating, that'd be a nice 5-star rating. That'd be awesome. If you're watching on YouTube, as I see a lot of you are, please hammer it with a like, hit the subscribe button, little bell icon, so you know when we go live. Again, I appreciate the hell out of all of you. I'll talk to you later. And as always, actually, you're a good man, Duane. These post games are the first thing I look forward to after the Go Sabres playoffs. Here we come. I agree, man. I agree. We are Sabres family plus Duane. You and I are a Wildcat. You're a Wildcat? What year? I got to know what year. I actually wore my my Depew Wildcat hockey hoodie to the gym yesterday. So nice to see another Wildcat. I coached them, actually. Believe it or not, I coach. You're an 04? I was an 06. You better DM me. I don't know. Find me. I want to know. I have to know who you are. Now I have to know who you are. I'm assuming you know a lot of the guys that I played with. Some guys I'm still friends with. That's cool. Just make sure you shoot me a message, please. I'm interested to know who you are, and again, see if we all know the same people. But yeah, I appreciate you guys, no doubt. And as always, I do want to give one shout out real quick. I believe his name was Dave, might have been Dan. He recognized me while I was working. We were both vendors for different beverage companies, and he recognized me and he said, he loved the show, and I appreciate. It's always a breath of fresh air to hear stuff like that. And I told him I'd give it a shout out. So shout out to you, Dave and or Dan. I think it was Dave. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. I'm sure I'll see you out there. And if you hear this, please give me shit. Appreciate you acknowledging the show. And you know, as always, and I keep kind of signing off, and then I don't. Shout out to this guy right here. He did ask for a shout out, so I'll give him one. Where is it? Where is he? 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 Here we go. Because I like the name. Jax Gets Chicks. Welcome to the chat. And all you new people in the chat, welcome to the chat. And as always, go Sabres. Talk to you guys soon.